Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Good? Good. Okay. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about trading lateral chop and defining compressing ranges for Bitcoin and Forex for that matter. They both work equally well. One of the biggest differences between Bitcoin and Forex is the duration of trends. Actually, just the entire altcoin market in Forex, right? In altcoins, you actually get very sustainable trending and very clear quad CCI readings that let you trade the trend very successfully. However, trends in Forex are much rarer, and that's why trading lateral compressing ranges is a superior skill set when it comes to Forex. So, let's zoom into this chart and actually talk about the current lateral range we're going here. Right? Because we actually got some weird mass readings these last few days. I just want to point them out for you guys. Okay? And especially when we have this choppy compressing range, quad CCI is going to usually not pass out the signals all that often because of how quickly the weighting on the seesaw changes as related to the 50 period, dashing off to the opposite side of the 200. And quite often it looks like we're just blasting straight on through for those entries. From the looks of it, there's only one quad CCI entry here, two actually, one here and one here. And those both would have been pretty good longs for you, right? Because as long as we maintain that positive condition, those CCI roll-ups are going to be strong. And now we are actually getting a little bit of net expansion, but there is still volatility overhead from the previous move. So, it's still logical to bet on a compressing range. And that compressing range is currently defined by the 120 period. So let's check how that's playing. Because I'm actually a little curious about this. Because I've actually been ranting about trading psychology the last few days, so it's not as cut and dry as I would typically expect. Yeah, this is... Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so this is really goofy. Let's talk about why. Right, we had this downward net expansion, and then the top edge of this band would be the supposed resistance, and by God, it's trying to hold it really strong, and it's really caught between this odd period of expansion and compression, and that's actually because of technically the shorter period of mass is still technically in a state of net expansion, and we actually need to go in a shorter time frame to realize this. So this is a pretty interesting example, right? Because this downward move here generated mass, but this upward move also generated mass, and then as defined by this upward move, well, that's actually still defining trend, even though on a higher time frame it looks like we're still getting consolidation. So it's a really goofy chart at the moment. And we want to look at the 120 period down here as well. That's convenient. Right, since technically speaking, when we re-entered this 120 period down here, well, we reverted to the relative mean, and then it went below the 0.7 value, and implied that trend continuation was possible. And now, well, we're getting that trend continuation. So that shorter period of mass that generated down here is actually quite a rare occurrence on where it's actually prioritizing over the longer overexpansion's compression. So, a bit of a goofy chart. Nothing I really want to trade all that much at the moment, other than, say, a potential quad CCI entry, but there are safer charts to trade, I'll tell you that much. Okay? And I'm going to just make a comparison with Forex as well. It's just why I like crypto so much. Do you see the clarity of these plumes that generate throughout here? Right? That's from the quote-unquote manipulation that takes place here in crypto, where we have this huge upward expansion of mass, and it happens all at once because of the over-leveraged market and the ignition momentum that occurs as stop losses beget stop losses, right? If you look, you don't really get any of these BARTs until, curiously enough, until leverage became particularly popular in crypto, right? You can actually pinpoint where BARTs started to occur. Right, everybody over here was used to being able to make their gains with volatility. That's great. And after we began in this compressing range down here, where volatility tightened and tightened and tightened, and volatility overhead just all but disappeared, well, people missed their gains. Right? People want their gains because they're used to these huge volatile moves that enable them to make lots of money very quickly on Bitcoin. But when the range tightens, well, then they need to resort to leverage in order to get that same kind of relative volatility. And if that happens, well, if you over leverage a market and volatility returns to its previous state, guess what happens? Ignition momentum, where we start getting huge wicks, either one direction or another, where just the moves happen all at once, because again, stop losses beget stop losses, and everyone has a really tight stop loss, right? So ever since that occurrence where volatility reduced in Bitcoin, we're getting a lot more wicks, we're getting a lot more of this choppy action. And because of that, we get a lot clearer readings of mass, and that's actually really good for my trading style, right? Because this is a very reactionary kind of trading. If you actually look at FOREX, so like USD, Japanese yen, right? And let's pull back here because I already know this chart pretty well. Just waiting for 3D Wave PM. Hello, just give it a second, guys. Okay. You see how much more unclear these readings are, how we get a lot more random volatility overhead, and how the plumes are much shorter lived, right? Because these moves aren't nearly as clean and over leveraged as the cryptocurrency market. And because of that, well, mass can generate much more fluidly rather than the all at once mass generation that we get on Bitcoin, which makes the readings a lot less clear. So the signals we get in Bitcoin are actually a lot more frequent and a lot more potent than, say, here in Forex, because of the lack of self-control in the crypto market and just how ridiculously over-leveraged people end themselves with, right? Okay, folks, that's today's lesson. It has been a pleasure, and I'll talk to y'all later. Nice, guys. Good work today. Let me pull out my phone, see what you guys want from me. Oh, I got a new package. Wonder what it could be. I actually don't remember what I ordered. Okay. Good morning, folks. How are we all doing today? We're comfy cozy? That's good. Really quiet today, which I suppose is fine, right? Okay. Hardcoder says, but expansions on the biggest time frame shouldn't give stronger signals. Technically, the signal on the shorter time frame did succeed hardcoder. Or the signal on the 4-hour time frame did succeed. The mean reversion did complete. Just what actually... Okay, I guess I got to draw this out for you. Right. Okay. So we had the downward generation of mass from this move, and it resulted in its relative mean reversion, and that's fine. But because we also had net expansion on a shorter period, that actually causes a bit of a different reading here. So this downward net expansion generated mass, and then it had its relative mean reversion, right? And then it would technically be implied that we would trade laterally, as defined by this range. But because of the strength of the new net expansion from the shorter time frame, that actually allowed trend continuation despite the compressing range, because there was enough force to overpower the generation of mass. Okay? Pretty cool chart, right? What are we going to look at today? going to keep this one pretty short. I'm borrowing Dobie today, and I'm going to take him for a walk. He's such a good boy. Right, Dobie? Are you a good boy? Look at me. Look at me. Rub your chin and kiss your forehead. Good boy. Okay. What are we looking for? Yeah, I want a little bit more VIB. But the only way I can actually transfer more of my portfolio into it is to get out of Tether. And I've learned to have a good portion of Tether at all times, just so I could buy the dips, and then I'll always have an altcoin that goes up no matter what, right? So, this is actually kind of interesting. Kind of missed that. That would have been a strong signal. That was a really good breakout. Okay, Mike, I'll get some tea on Very. Veritasium. Veritas. I took Latin. I know what that means. I took Latin for 4 years. Isn't it something along the lines of meaning, or it's either meaning or truth? Veritasum would be oh, that doesn't change it to genitive, does it? Would that mean my truth? I think it would. Veritasium would mean my truth, I think. Oh well. Somebody look it up for me. Okay. Just from the looks of it, we're getting a mean reversion condition here. Let's actually figure out the period of mass to get the right reading on that. Okay. As we wait for the chart to load. Come on. I think my internet just dropped. No, we're good. Okay. It's just TradingView. I guess we had to refresh the page. Okay. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh, this is painful. Tell you guys, TradingView does not like these indicators. What a nuisance. Is it just Very that it won't load? Jesus. Yeah, okay. Weird. I'm going to move on. I'm sorry, Mike. Really compressed range, potential accumulation. This is one of the scenarios where on the macro level we're still getting some leftover overhead from this previous move. It's kind of funny, you know, because of this bullish move that happened over here, it's actually going to make it harder for any kind of new expansion to begin in the short term. We still need a little bit more compression on those longer periods before I would actually consider longer term trending to actually begin here. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. I see what I was doing here. We had this trend line on Wave PM, and then there was this this breakout right here, and that was an implied bearish break. And from the looks of it, for this location, yeah, we are down 4.5%. I would still have a bearish light on this, at least in the short term. Okay? Sorry, folks. Dopey. He's so small. Oh my god. He's such a good dog. Okay. I'm gonna check out ZRX. I still got a bag of ZRX. What do we have here? Bit of a difficult chart, but we can get a reading here. So let's check out 260, okay? 280, I think. Oh, huh. That's pretty cool. Wow, yeah. That's really cool. So when we re-entered the band at this location, mean inversion was implied to this mean. We hit the mean and then completely retraced to the bottom edge of the band. Wow. And now we're just bouncing along the bottom edge, and we will trade laterally as defined by that band until it sufficiently compresses below the 0.7 value, which is a few candle closes away. Troublesome. I guess this can technically bounce from this location. It's just a little risky. I should have taken profit on that pump there. Oh well. Oh, it was 15%. Wow. Let's go ahead and take a look at MDA. Okay. Ooh, could be spicy. I can't really give you an opinion on this without drawing a breakout pattern, and I'm not going to do that. Okay? Okay, no, I can give you a short-term opinion based on the 300 period. So not much is good. Okay, at this time, I'd expect a retracement down to this value. If you want to try to catch the bounce down here, go ahead. Right? It's going to be very hard for trend to resume at this time. So I would wait for the retracement. I'm going to do one more coin, and then I'm going to take my doggy for a walk. Okay, we're going to check out ADA. I don't want to give an opinion on this. That's a really ugly chart. I mean, technically the daily's compressed enough to actually allow for trend to begin, but yeah, I just don't have a single clear signal on this. Short term, technically there should be a bullish break here, but it already looks like it's failing. Right, because this net expansion looked really good. That was actually technically a buy signal, but it got smacked down, so oh well. I'm gonna check out gold and then I'll be done. XAU USD. Ooh, a mean reversion. Yeah, that's really clean and easy. This is a good trade. Let's talk about it. Okay, cool. We are reverting to the 250. Cool. Strut out. 250. Okay, gold will retrace exactly to this value, and then after that's done, it will trade laterally as defined by this period until this reading turns green. Okay. Wow, cool chart. I guess if you want to try to catch along down here, go ahead. Okay. All right, folks, this has been fun. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Make sure you like this video. It really helps me out. You folks have a beautiful day. I'll see you later. Oh, my hotkey didn't work. Hi, guys. Here we go. Bye.